My name is Francois Pienaar. I'm one of the directors here at FDP Law. We practice in Cape Town. We're here in Riebeeck Street on the 10th floor of the Felix building. We specialize in commercial work, I would call it. We profiling on this as company law experts, which is what we really do, but it branches out from there to general commercial work, also litigation, of course, any form of court case involving particularly civil disputes is what we do, but also outside of that, basically everything, including family law, etc. I would say the primary features that we have is turnaround time. I always come up with that because we're very good. Shani and my partner and I, we focus on getting the job done accurately, but also quickly. It's something there's a shortage of. So we're very quick with results. We also think outside the box wherever possible. We do different things. I tend to be a smart brevity person, so my contracts are often short and to the point, saying what needs to be said. And we take initiative from time to time. I'll get to it just now as well. I'm a sort of a trust expert, so we do a lot of trusts, which links into company law and the whole commercial thing. We focus on, we love doing company structures for people, which often has a trust at the top and the companies at the bottom. So as an example of out the box, we got this idea and then did it by registering a number of trusts, which has now become, call it inverted commas, shelf trusts, because clients often need that at short notice. The fact that we have them on standby, it fits into the company structure immediately, and they don't have to wait for the master of the High Court here. The trusts are immediately available for clients. So as an example of thinking outside the box and doing something differently to the normal. Well, I think our cases that we regularly engage in, I touched on that a moment or so ago. Our cases are always of a civil nature, commercial in nature. So we will take on disputes, go to the High Court, arbitrate, whatever the case may be. It often involves contractual disputes and company law disputes. That's on the litigation side of things. And then, of course, on the other side, the pure commercial work, we love the setting up of company structures, as I mentioned, and the drafting of all the contracts that go with it, your sale of shares agreements, your shareholders agreements, and everything that goes with it. I would talk about my highlights as follows, really, in summary. I like to mention my interactions with foreign countries. So I always think of my dealings a couple of years back with a client who had a factory in India. One of their businesses was situated there, and a bunch of Americans were interested in buying this. And I had to get involved in negotiating the whole thing. Sat with the guys at Cliff Decker basically on a daily basis, met with the Americans and did the deal. It was a huge deal. It was millions of rands involved, and it was a very interesting experience dealing with the Americans. They were just amazing. The type of contracts they were prepared to adhere to in a form of, I don't want to get too technical, like a letter of intent. There was a lot of good faith, which you often don't find in South Africa. And then we successfully concluded, and my clients got quite a few bucks out of it. So that was one. I had some interesting Dutch law experiences. I acted for a lady whose brother stole something like 100 million rand equivalent from him by way of acknowledgements of debt. And it was very complicated. I'm not getting involved in the details, but it was interesting. And I had to get a fay with Dutch law An issue of, for instance, prescription was raised where debts disappear after 3 years in our case. And then I learned that in Holland, it's 5 years, which made us win that case. And eventually we sequestrated it. Also Dutch, we very recently, on a commercial side of things, we got involved for a local client who wanted to branch out to the Netherlands, and we had to negotiate the entire transaction. So we had to deal with the Dutch lawyers and get au fait with Dutch law to a degree and explain to them how things work here in South Africa. And we just help put the whole thing together. So we do a lot of that, which is nice. Cross-border stuff, if you want. We've done the vice versa, where we've had a Belgian company that wants to invest here, so we deal with the lawyers there, just the other way around. So we do a lot of that. Just on victories, we recently, I think that's one I must highlight, we had a case, to summarize, involving initially an attorney that stole from our client, his former client, effectively something like 10 billion rand from a property transfer. But he played games. He tried to say it's this, that, and the other thing. We had to sue him. We sued him here in the Cape High Court. He defended it. He defended it all the way, believe it or not, to the appellate division, who refused him leave to appeal. He even took it to the Constitutional Court, and we won that as well. Then, to get money, we needed to sue the Fidelity Fund in South Africa. The Fidelity Fund covers situations like this, where attorneys steal, and if in deserved circumstances, they pay out. Our poor client, of course, we had to sue them eventually. They repudiated. We had to take them all the way again to the High Court, and we won. We won with costs and the whole tutti, and they went to the appellate division, where the appellate division said, no, sorry, no, you're not getting leave to take this any further. And that was the victory. We won eventually, and they paid our client 14 million rand, including a bit of interest, and now we're taxing some costs. My last point I want to make, it's not yet a success, but it's another indication of the type of stuff that we do and thinking outside the box. We took instructions from a group of minority shareholders in a South African company who were basically prejudiced by the majority. In South Africa, minorities don't have much say in company affairs. If you're less than 25%, you're really going nowhere. But we have a section in our act which says that if the majority goes totally overboard with acting prejudicially, you can go to court and put forward a case in terms of which the court says, no, you, the majority, must buy out the minority at a fair and reasonable value. So we did this case at risk, which means we haven't been paid. We only get paid if and when we win. Unfortunately, we'll be waiting for judgment. We thought it went well, but it could go any way. So it's an example of outside the box and of the type of stuff we do. So ironically, we've established through this sort of thing that minorities, in a way, have more rights than ordinary shareholders. They just want out of a company, although there seems to be case law in a different direction. So that's also part of where we slightly out of the box and where we're different. We like to find solutions. We're solution driven. So if you have a more regular situation of 50% shareholders, very often we do shareholders agreements, and where I like to have exit provisions so that you don't have a situation where I'm 50 and you're 50, and now we have a fight and we don't know how to extricate from this whole thing. So we do a lot of that. But as I say, this interesting case, we're just waiting for a result. We as I've mentioned earlier, we love international dealings, so we're always looking out for international clients that we can service, and it's a part of our marketing efforts. And so far, we've been very impressed with GLE, and so far so good.